Okay, it's October 25th. Season's about over. Just doing the final things you need to do for bees to get them through the winter. One of which is treating with oxalic acid. This is a OxVap, and it makes treating with oxalic acid very fast and efficient. To me, if you have more than 10 hives, it saves you like, I don't know, 8 hours every time you want to treat. And since, if you think about throughout a season, you're probably treating with oxalic acid about, I don't know, a total of 10 to 15 times. That's a lot of hours. And this cuts it back by about 80% as far as time. So I'm here to check out how the hives are doing related to feedings. I have some more 2-to-1 sugar water that I've made that I'll be adding. I have a generator that I use. I got that at Home Depot for like $200. And that's what's going to power the OxVap. That's the only downside, is it requires energy. Well, I mean, either one you use. If you use the other sublimator, you still have to bring a car battery. This is actually easier to me. So I'm going to kind of look at, see how they did with the first feeding, add some more if I need to, and treat them with the oxalic acid. So do yourself a favor, buy the $50 mask, put on new cartridges every year, and you know, be careful. So what ends up happening is you load oxalic acid into these little Teflon cups, and you use a 1/4 teaspoon per deep. More is not better. I've read this from scientific articles that have kind of tested this stuff out. 1/4 teaspoon per deep. So on these nucleus hives, it's 4 frames over 4 frames. So that's 8 frames. So that's basically 1 deep. So a 1/4 teaspoon. This is a 1/2 teaspoon. So I do half of a 1/2 teaspoon and then go for it. So the generator has been warming up, and once it's on for about 5 minutes, you can plug this in, and you can hear it just shifted. And I don't know if you can see this on the GoPro or not, but it kind of shows you the temperature is set for 230 and it's at 13 degrees Celsius right now. So we will wait for this to warm up. Once it hits 230, I can start blocking off the entrances and treating with the oxalic acid. So I use these spacer boards right here. It's a slatted bottom board, and it allows me to give them a little more room. Supposedly it helps with swarming. I don't know if it does or not, but you can see a lot of the smoke escaping out of the bottom, because I also use screen bottom boards. But not as much coming out the front, I don't believe. Yeah, you can see that's a lot different. It's a bigger volume. So it's at 220, so that should mean that it's about done. Oh, no, maybe not. Okay. So I think what I'm going to do here is do a second, because it doesn't look as though... and if I wasn't wearing a mask right now, I'd be breathing this in. So I'm going to do a second quick treatment here. Not sure why that didn't fall down into the hive, but looks like it's doing it this time. Could have got trapped. It's another good reason to wear thick gloves. You can kind of touch the oxalic acid without burning your hands. Huh. Still not dropping down below 223. I don't know what's going on here. Alright, well, I'm not sure what happened there. Maybe it all sublimated really fast. So this next one is a double, and it has a lot of volume, so I am going to put a full half teaspoon in there. And I'm going to use both of these towels just to make sure I get a good coverage as far as making sure that there's nothing getting in and out. As far as vapor goes, you might notice a different level of smoke coming out of here on this one, just because it's got more in there. And right away you can see it's smoking pretty heavy. You can also see on that hive they're really not excited about the fact that they just got smoked, but that's okay. So this is the norm when you do a bigger volume. It does seem like it drops all the way down to like 205, 210, and then starts to come back up. And even though I'm wearing a mask, I'm still not standing in the vapor. Just be smart about it when you're treating. If you're a beekeeper and you're watching this, so it's going to take a little bit long to sublimate and complete the burning process or the sublimating process. But again, once it gets up to about 220, I'll pop her. And it's finished. So I'll show it quick, just to kind of give you an idea of what actually happens on the inside and how much smoke there is and all that kind of stuff. There you go. That's what happens. So it's dropping down, still dropping, 224, 222, 219. So it's about done. So, you know, you're talking 15, 20 seconds max. And like I said, I usually leave it in there just to give it an extra couple of seconds to make sure everything gets burned off. But that's what occurs. So just another 4 hives to treat, and I'll be done in this yard, and then I can go to my other yard and do the same. So again, I'm just going to clean these out because it does seem like if they're not smooth on the inside, stuff gets hung up. So the next 2 are about the same, you know, one hive body, so about a half teaspoon, or a quarter teaspoon, sorry, half of this, which is a half. And actually that second one has more, so I'm going to give them a little more. And I'll just put it up on top for them. And this is for this one. So I'll give this a minute, then I'll grab those towels and I'll move on.